Very good then. What I'm going to do first of all is welcome everyone to the Columbus Area Endowment virtual celebration of philanthropy for the philanthropists for the year 2020. I'd like to ask all of you who are here on Zoom to make sure that your microphones are muted, but to remind you that if you would like to speak, you can use the chat section, and you can certainly raise your hand or make a gesture so that we see you if that's a time that you'd like to speak. We will be inviting people to speak as we go along. So I'm president of the Columbus Area Endowment, known for short as CAE, and this is our celebration of philanthropists of the year 2020. This is an unusual format, but these are extraordinary circumstances, and I'm going to ask you to forbear any technical issues. If a connection should stop, just log on again. We have technical help from Columbus, from the Madison Community Foundation, working with the Columbus Area Endowment. And once again, please make sure that your microphones are muted. The chat feature is running, and this event will be recorded. Becky, do we have recording running now? You said we did?
We are recording, yes.
And that recording will be available on the YouTube channel as listed in the appeal letter and in the chat. I will now turn to members of our executive committee who are here today to introduce themselves, turning first to Vice President Dave Malone.
Yes, thank you, Henry. First, I want to thank everyone for joining. Like Henry said, my name is Dave Malone. I'm the local State Farm agent. I've been in Columbus for 2.5 years. Very excited for today's presentation and excited for all of the videos and all the good stuff that we're about to see. So with that, I'll turn it over to Kaylin.
Hello, folks. Everybody hear me?
Yes.
I'm Kaylin Leaders, a lifelong resident of Columbus. I've been an executive committee member of the Columbus Area Endowment for 10 years. I would like to acknowledge the founding members of the Columbus Area Endowment: Mary Roach, Ginger Hansel, Nancy Liverseed, Sally Owen, Mark Jansen, Joe Conlon, Fred Leaders, and our Al Stroshine. Their decision in 2008 to fund that first $1,000 and partner with the Madison Community Foundation has given us opportunity and benefits. I want to congratulate the Shesky-Gunther families and the Columbus Historic and Landmark Preservation Commission for your philanthropy and service to the Columbus area. Annette, over to you.
Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this beautiful November Sunday. Whoever thought we would say something like that. I would like to, I am the superintendent of the Columbus School District, a proud member of the CAE Executive Committee. Henry stated earlier that these are extraordinary times, and we are so fortunate that we live in an extraordinary community with extraordinary people. Again, I am very proud to be a part of this committee and the work that we do and the work that is done by our community. So with that, I'd like to send it to one of the founding committee members, and Alan Stroshine.
Thank you, Annette. Again, I'm Alan Stroshine. I'm a founding member of the Columbus Area Endowment. I am a local attorney, and I've been in the community for a little over 40 years now. It's very humbling to see not only how much we've done in the 12 years that the CAE has been giving out grants and raising monies for the community, but also especially this year with the pandemic. I'm on isolation right now with a positive COVID test, and I hope everyone stays healthy. If above everything else, it's necessary to be in isolation and to be protective in this special time. And I'm glad that when you hear about the grants that you're going to be hearing about today, the grants are going for some special, unusual circumstances. And little did we know 12 years ago that we would be in a situation like we are facing today. Again, I give my hats off to the Shesky-Gunther family for all the good works it did. And I was also a founding member of the CHLPC many years ago, over 30 years ago, and it's just wonderful to see how that organization has blossomed and to see how the Fireman's Park Pavilion has just been restored to the glory that it is today. With that, I'm going to I'll mention that Mike Lubinow from Fall River, one of our newer members, is not able to be with us today, but Mike has given a lot to the community, not only Fall River, but also Columbus. He's been a founding member of the Savannah Oaks Community Center in Fall River. If this would be a normal year, we might be having our event at that facility, but it isn't a normal year. And Mike's, for those of you who don't know this story, and since Mike isn't here to say it, Mike's wife, Gloria Lubinow, is Twyla Shesky's niece. And Gloria had the distinction of being the flower girl at Twyla's wedding. So I think that's just a really good segue into my introduction of Mike. Henry, I'm going to turn it back to you so you can introduce Kyle, who's not with us today.
Thanks, Al. Kyle Ellison is another member of our executive committee who's the city administrator in Columbus, newly arrived during the past year, who, as most of us who has to meet the public, is very, very cautious and said he's not feeling well enough to be with us at this Zoom event. But Kyle has provided a great deal of support to this organization in his short time in Columbus, and we certainly wish him well. If you're listening to the recording, Kyle, we're very grateful for your help. And I will point out that I'm not in the pavilion. That picture behind me is a stock background picture, but like all of us, I wish we were having the celebration in person, and we had reserved the pavilion. In our September meeting, we canceled that reservation. So sometime in the future, we'll be at Savannah Oaks or at the Fireman's Park Pavilion for one of these events. This is a temporary solution and certainly not the best solution. So what I propose to do now is to introduce a very special person. You'll soon be hearing more from us, but first we're going to turn to Angela Davis, our liaison with our giving partner, the Madison Community Foundation, or MCF. As Kaylin said, since 2008, CAE has been working with MCF to serve its mission to enhance the cultural, educational, economic vitality of our communities through charitable awards that sustain our quality of life. Over to you, Angela. I said that part. Your turn.
Thank you, Henry, and good afternoon. This is actually my 5th Philanthropist of the Year celebration. I'm always amazed with all the great happenings in Columbus, which I sometimes call my second home because I'm with you all so much. Madison Community Foundation's mission is to enhance the common good, excuse me, through philanthropy. For over 75 years, MCF has helped people and communities do their charitable giving your way to causes you care about the most. I bring a special hello from our president and CEO, whom many of you know, Bob Sorge, who used to hold the position that I hold now. Columbus holds a special place in Bob's heart. MCF is proud to have Columbus Area Endowment as a giving partner. Our giving partners support programs that are unique to the communities that they serve. Columbus's other sister giving partners represent Lodi, Middleton, Monona, Portage, and Rio. I'd like to take a moment now to introduce MCF's Communications Director, Becky Figo, who has been instrumental with logistics of this event. You all make incredible things happen. And Becky, I guess I should let you say hello, huh? Before I keep going.
It's okay. Hello, everybody.
I didn't write that part down. You all make incredible things happen in your community, and we are proud to help support you in any way we can. On behalf of MCF, we would like to congratulate this year's grant recipients, Philanthropist of the Year honorees, and we are thrilled to be your partner in your endeavors to make Columbus a better place to live, learn, work, and play. Thank you. Henry?
Thank you, Angela. And thank you, Becky. I'll mention to those of you just joining us, Becky is recording this entire event. Will be up on the YouTube channel as shown in your appeal letters. And Becky is also monitoring the chat feature. So if you check that feature, you'll see it. There's some items that you might want to copy. And that if you have any questions that you'd like to raise, we'll be looking at them there and we'll be notified about them a little further as we proceed. So thank you, Becky, for all the work that you do to make not only this event, but all the work that we do with MCF go so smoothly. I'm now going to turn to recognizing our 220 grant recipients who are the Columbus Schools Nutrition Program and the Columbus High School Greenhouse, and Vice President Dave Malone will make these presentations.
Yeah, thank you, Henry. Before we talk about the two recipients, first, just a little bit of a background. So the Columbus Area Endowment is a giving partner of the Madison Community Foundation. In addition to awarding grants, the CAE partners with the local institutions of Columbus and the Fall River area with a nonprofit status. The CAE does not fund endowments, loans, or re-grant programs, multi-year commitments, religious activities, individuals or groups without a 501c3 designation, other foundations, organizations that practice discrimination, political activities, or travel expenses. The CAE in the past has made grants to the Columbus Area Senior Center, the Savannah Oaks Cultural Center, Columbus Area Aquatic Center, Club Scout Pack 99, the Columbus Honor Tree Program, Savannah Oaks Cultural Center, among other grants in the prior years. Also supported the Columbus Recreation, the McKinsey Environmental Center, the Redbud Players, and Columbus Public Library. So with all of that said, the first CA grant made in 2020 was to Laura Austin and the Columbus School District. She is the Columbus School District Food Services Director. Laura, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you. And if you just want to talk a little bit about what the grant has meant to you guys and what you used it for.
Okay. Well, first, I just want to tell you how excited we were when we received the grant. Back when the pandemic started, we realized that there were many families in our community that were struggling, not only to feed their children at that time, but also to pay prior food service monies that they had owed. So what we did with the grant monies is we helped those families that were already in trouble as the pandemic started, and we also fed children till the end of the school year. Since then, we've kept feeding the children, and we are currently in the program that helps the kids eat till the end of June of 2021. So this is open to all school children. This is open to all community families for any child 18 years of age and younger. So you helped us do that with your grant to help these families get started this year with a fresh slate and try to keep feeding all the kiddos. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Laura. The second grant that the Columbus Area Endowment made in 2020 was to Glenda Crook, the Columbus High School Agricultural Program. Glenda, if you want to talk about a few things that you guys were able to do with the grant and what it meant to you.
Thank you very much for awarding the grant to the greenhouse and to Columbus Agricultural Education. We use the greenhouse quite a bit to help the community. We grew hanging baskets for the city, and we helped the Columbus Community Hospital with a bedding plant sale that they have there. And so last year, the roof blew off of our greenhouse, and so we weren't able to do those projects. And that was disappointing to the students because they really enjoyed working with people in the community. and having a sense of worth and contribution to the community. So the money will help us get our greenhouse back in shape. We have a roof and we have new sides on it. So it is ready to go. So we can get some plants started in probably January. And I also would like to reinstate our hydroponics and growing lettuce. So that's something I've talked to Laura about, in fact, in trying to get, if we could do some lettuce production for salads in the school lunch program and helping out that way. So really helps us provide a lot of interaction for the students between their own school and in the community. So thank you so much for the grant.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much. It's always exciting to hear what you guys are able to do with it. So with that, I will turn it back over to Henry.
There. I was holding the space bar, but I was in the wrong program. I want to repeat congratulations to the grant recipients. We invite them, previous recipients, and all eligible applicants to our 2021 grant cycle, which will be posted after our annual meeting next summer. I'm now going to turn the mic over to Executive Committee member Annette Duman, who will honor the Columbus Historic Landmarks and Preservation Commission, the first of our co-philanthropists of the year 2020.
Thank you, Henry. The Executive Committee of the Columbus Area Endowment is pleased to announce the Columbus Historic Landmarks and Preservation Commission as a first recipient of the co-philanthropist for this year 2020. The Columbus Area Endowment and the Madison Community Foundation have created a video to commemorate their work and the philanthropy in the Columbus area.
My name is Alan Stroshine, and I'm here on behalf of the Columbus Area Endowment that's been in existence for over 10 years. We are here today in the historic Columbus Fireman's Park Pavilion, which has been restored to its glory by a local organization called the Columbus Landmarks and Historic Preservation Commission. Members of that commission are here today to accept our Philanthropist of the Year award from the Columbus Area Endowment. I am proud to bestow upon Carolyn Fredericks, the president of the organization, this plaque, which will be put before an honor tree next spring when the tree can be planted around Columbus. And Carolyn, congratulations on all of your efforts. I know that there will be some film that will be taken of all the things that have been done at the pavilion, but it looks wonderful. My wife and I were lucky enough to have our wedding reception here 33 years ago, and this just looks wonderful. So thank you.
I just wanted to say I'm so very proud of this group for all of our hard work and efforts and what we've been able to accomplish with the help of the Merle Gunther Foundation and to the restoration of so much done in the Fireman's Park Pavilion. I'd like to introduce our members. John Salzwedel, our chair president, Ruth Hermanson, Beth Allschwager, Jan Ulrich, Eric Lukasavitz, and Retta Kurth. This group has been together for many, many years and have really enjoyed working together. We are a very strong team and happy to do things for our community, and very much appreciate the honor from the Columbus Area Endowment. It's our pleasure.
Becky, are we going to Annette will now introduce our second of the co-philanthropists of the year.
I think Al is going to introduce them, I believe.
I'm pleased to honor at this time the Shesky-Gunther family. I see from today's activity that we have a number of Sheskys at our meeting. In true to form, they are hiding without their pictures being shown today. And that's a trait of the Sheskys that I've grown to love over the time that I've known them. As you'll see from the video that we're about to witness, Twyla Shesky is a great matriarch for this family and a great inspiration to her brother, Merle Gunther. Merle's money from his estate planning that we did in our office and what he's done with the Fireman's Park Pavilion in conjunction with Co-Philanthropist of the Year, the CHLPC, has just been wonderful for the community. My office is across the street from the pavilion. And as that pavilion got painted this year and the new windows, it just was wonderful to see. And this building is over 100 years old. And I'm just thinking of this right now. It was a couple years old when we had our last pandemic, and here we are in the 100 years later with another pandemic, and we're honoring a building and a family, the Shesky-Gunther family, that, as you'll see from the video, Twyla has been instrumental in the nursing program in many different locations, and just been a wonderful person. When we get done with that honor, you're going to hear a challenge grant that my wife Kathy Holk and I are challenging the community on from today, November 8th, through the end of the year, with respect to new monies that come into the Columbus Area Endowment. I'll let that video that you're about to see speak for itself, but I encourage you to consider what can be done. As I said before, it's humbling to see what we've done in 12 years, and in particular this year of the pandemic, what can be done and what needs to be done for our community, and we're all stepping up in that regard. It's just awesome. So with that, I'll turn the video over to Becky and she can play it, and we'll hear about the Shesky-Gunther money and the foundation and Twyla's inspiration to her brother Merle.
This is Alan Stroshine from the Columbus Area Endowment, and I'm here today with Twyla Shesky. Twyla, are you somehow related to Merle Gunther?
Yeah, he's my brother.
He's your brother?
Yeah, he's a year and a half older than I am.
A year and a half older, okay. And you grew up in the area, right? In the town of Elba.
Yeah, we went to school in Columbus.
You went to school in Columbus, and after school you became a nurse, and then you taught nursing, is that right?
Right.
And you traveled the world and did medical mission work all over the world in Africa and China, South America, is that right?
Right.
So what kind of example were you to your older brother Merle? What did you tell him about what he should be doing with his funds as he got older?
Well, he decided to do what he wanted to. You know, each decides what they want to do.
But you were an example to him as you were traveling around the world. Yeah. And Merle, many years ago, Merle came to me and he decided to put part of his estate to do good works in Columbus. And he remembered the Columbus community. And
right.
Have you had a chance to get a tour of the pavilion today?
No, I just came here. I just saw what I saw today.
Does it remind you of when you came here for dances?
Oh yeah, but it was a lot different. We came for dances. Last time I was here maybe 40 years ago.
It was about 40 years ago was probably the last time you were here?
Yeah.
And Merle had given this money to the city, the Historic Landmarks Preservation Commission, and they've done all the things like replace the windows and done a wonderful job with the floors and the painting, the exterior, touching it up so it can be used for many, many years to come.
Yeah.
Did you have any inclination when you talked to Merle that he was going to do something like this?
No, not necessarily.
Have you gotten some ideas of what you want to do when you pass away as far as your funds?
I haven't figured that. We haven't
Well,
figured
Columbus Area Endowment always likes to talk to people that grew up in the area because we want to give back to our community.
Yeah.
I see that you almost look like Superman today because you've got that Nurses Run 2003. What does the Nurses Run 2003 mean?
Well, for a long time in Columbus, the hospitals like Mariner, and then they used to have walks for things, and we used to run and walk, and I think more walk than run. But anyhow, we did that, and then we gave money to the.
That was also a fundraiser.
Yeah, it was a fundraiser.
And you've supported the nursing program big time. Where did you work as far as when you taught nursing?
I taught nursing well. I taught in Milwaukee. I taught in Columbus. Let's see, where else did I teach? Oh.
Did you teach in Madison?
Oh yeah, in Madison and.
So there are a lot of medical nurses out there that probably got taught by Twilashevsky.
Well, maybe. I don't know how many, but.
Well, especially with what we're going on, we're sitting here at the end of 2020. It's been a long year. We're wearing masks because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
It's really, really an honor for me to give this award to your family, the Gunther Shesky family, yeah, for all the money that has been poured into the pavilion, yeah, especially since you taught nurses, you've given back through all kinds of philanthropic endeavors, yeah, and you were, I think, a pretty good role model for your brother Merle, who gave this money to the local community to restore the pavilion. So yeah, this is a plaque that's going to go on a tree next year somewhere around Columbus. So when you drive back in with your family, you'll be able to see this tree grow just like Columbus grows because of philanthropic people like yourself.
Yeah, because we even, as you go in the park, there's a lot of places that was,
beautiful with trees. You probably remember when there was a swimming hole that was just a dirt pond. Yes, yes. Well, it's improved a lot with the aquatic center and everything since you were a little girl here in Columbus. Thank you very much for your efforts. And
on behalf of the Columbus Historic Landmarks and Preservation Commission, we would like to honor you with a little plaque and our genuine appreciation for all the Merle Gunther Foundation has allowed our group to do for our community here at the Columbus Fireman's Park Pavilion. We have been honored to do these projects and couldn't do it without you. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
This is Alan Stroschein here at Columbus Fireman's Park. I am standing in front of the honor tree that my wife Kathy Holk and I got 5 years ago when we were honored to be Philanthropist of the Year from the Columbus Area Endowment. Well, that was 5 years ago, and this year I hit the big 65 years of age, and last year at the Philanthropist of the Year event, I said, I'm going to walk across England and I want pledges from all you folks that I can do it. Well, we had a pandemic and I didn't walk across England, but I did walk 70 kilometers on the Lake Superior hiking trail around Duluth, Minnesota, with my good friend Dan Martin, who's exactly 6 days older than I am, and we've been friends for 47 years. So what I'm here to do today is to challenge you people of Columbus Fall River that Kathy Holk and I will match gifts to the Columbus Area Endowment between now, November 8, 2020, and December 31st, 2020, postmarked December 31st, 2020, up to $5,000 we will match new gifts to the Columbus Area Endowment so we can build our permanent fund toward that $1 million goal that we've had for a number of years. And go Cards, go Columbus. Thank you.
Thanks, Al. Do you want to add anything?
No, Henry, I think that the video speaks for itself, and I just again want to thank the Shesky Gunther family and everybody that's on the video today for just being wonderful stewards of their funds and wonderful example of what a family can do for its community. They're inspirational, and that's one of the reasons Kathy and I are putting some of our money, paying it forward for this $5,000 challenge grant. It's just wonderful to see. I know Twyla's on the video. I think she's the smartest person on the video today because she's outside while all the rest of us are inside. And she's enjoying that vitamin D, which my doctors tell me is very, very helpful in recovering from COVID, is getting lots of vitamin D. Twyla, did you want to say anything today?
Before we go to that, Al, I have to add a couple things before we go to opening the mic. First of all, in our introductions, we missed someone very important. A member of our executive committee, Dale Gessler, could not be with us today. And as you know, Al, Dale is someone who has worked very closely with the CAE, but also with one of our grant recipients, the Columbus Area Senior Center. So I want to make sure Dale gets recognized. That was an omission that I made early on. And I want to add, before we do open the mic, that we had wonderful help from Token Creek Mobile Television, a video production organization based in Wanakee, run by John Salzwedel Sr., whose son John Salzwedel Jr. recommended them to us and produced the wonderful video that we just saw, which will be available on the recording that will be on the YouTube channel that is in the appeal letter and also in the chat function of this Zoom that we're on now. So as Al just said, we are going to open the mic for any of our participants today who'd like to add to the conversation we're having about CAE, CAE's grants program, and CAE's co-philanthropist of the year 2020, the Columbus Historic Landmark Preservation Commission. I think we have some of those folks with us today, and also the Gunther Shesky family, which is also represented. So as Al just indicated, and I wanted to make sure we got our thanks in properly, anyone who'd like to add to the conversation is welcome to unmute their microphone. I will now mute mine.
This is Dennis Shesky. I just want to say, well, am I working here? I'm not used to this. Okay, I just want to say thank you for providing all the muscle to get all the things done. We can only do part, you do the hard work. So I just want to say thank you.
And we are so welcome, Dennis. Thanks for speaking up. Ruth, remember to unmute. Well, I guess she took her hand down. Who's next? Going once, going twice. Anyone want to add anything further before we conclude our recognition today? One thing that I do want to say is it's always a good time to make a donation to CAE, as you've heard from our honorees today and from Al. And Becky has placed in the chat box the contact information that is also on your appeal letter. We have the post office box. We have a MCF website for those of you who do that, as I do. And we certainly welcome your comments and questions. This event has been announced on Facebook and will be also on our Facebook page. That's in your chat feature if you wish to use that. I don't see anybody unmuted, so I'll just keep going. Al, did you? No, Al's muted. So.
I think Ruth had her hand. Ruth Ann had her hand.
Yeah, I saw
up.
that, but then she stayed muted. Ruth Ann, did you want to speak now? Press the space bar, Ruth. Becky, can you unmute Ruth somehow? It seems to think she can't get it unmuted.
I've been trying to, but it's there. Oh, looks
There.
like. Looks
Hi
like
there. I just want to say thank you to the Gunther Shesky family and everybody on CHLPC that we work with, and your group in the entirety, that we're very thankful and happy to work together to make a better community, and honoring our four mothers and fathers. They built this beautiful pavilion, and it's a great honor to restore it and keep it in great working condition, and that we can all share in the great memories made there. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ruth. Can everybody hear me? Oh, here's Kaylin. Kaylin's got her hand up. Go ahead. Kaylin put her hand back down. We're watching all of you, as is Becky, so if anybody has something to add, here is your chance. There is Joey's hand. Joey, does Twyla want to say?
This is Angie. No, Mom, do you want to say anything? You want to say anything?
No.
I just wanted to say thank you to the CAE for the honor, and thanks to the CHLPC for all their wonderful work.
And we all agree and say you're most welcome. So as we sometimes do on Zoom, we'll give you all a round of applause. And just so everyone knows that the picture behind me shows the pavilion empty, we're hoping that it's full, as it is nearly every weekend. It's in use because of your generosity, because of your commitment. Both you and the CHLPC have added so much to our community. We can't say enough good things about it. So in my concluding remarks, and everyone thinks that's the favorite part, their favorite part of my remarks, we look forward to your support in years to come when we'll again celebrate individuals and groups who support CAE in its mission to enhance the cultural, educational, economic vitality of our communities through charitable awards to sustain our quality of life. Speaking for the entire committee, because that's my job today, thank you all for your participation this afternoon and in the future, and everyone, please be well.